Well, folks, one to go, one more to go. I suppose at the end of the day, the scoreline makes it look a wee bit better, I suppose, than what the game was. And for sections of that second half towards the end, we looked as if we played okay. And there's one or two promising signs. We'll come on to all that. But hello and welcome for the six people that are going to tune into this. Hello and welcome along to post-match reaction on the Rangers Rabble podcast. That was the final game at Ibrox and two home wins in a row for Barry. So I suppose there's always positives. And we won. I suppose, yeah, we won 3-1. That's another positive as well. I am joined by Ian, who had to try and entertain the members
Just a little bit.
just during that game. So fair play, Ian. How are you?
I'm all right. I mean, we had E&T to badger and annoy for an hour and a half as well, which did help. And then he did pull out at one point because his feed was watching. He didn't even say goodbye. He just left. So we gave him crap for that as well, for being rude and just leaving us to it. But otherwise,
He's a
all right.
horrible man. Isn't
He is horrible person.
He's terrible. For people tuning in for the very first time, Ian T is a horrible human being. Horrible. But yeah. Look, Ian, there's actually a few things we can take away from that game tonight. But firstly, just your thoughts on the final home game of the season.
First half was very reminiscent of the weekend's game. Nothing happened. And then it kind of sparked into life with 2 goals and then went back to nothing happened. I mean, the one thing you can say about the fact that we weren't 1-0 down, but we got back into it quickly. And just so somebody said in the comments said I caught the sun. No, that's Moonburn. But and second half it was a fairly non-event. We scored a couple of goals, won fairly easily. But overall, it was just meh as per normal.
Yeah. See, to be honest, I was still quite perplexed watching the game, even as we went, 2-1 up, and especially when we went 3-1 up. So perplexed at the starting lineup tonight. Ian.
Oh, well, first of all, Alex didn't realise there was 2 changes. Only the one. He thought it was only 1, but I didn't get it. You've got the season's done. There's nothing to play for. I know Barry wants to win as much as he can. He doesn't want to be the manager that won very little in the terms of his times there. But Rice should have been starting today. You could give Dio a rest. There's no harm in it, and then bring Dio on in the second half, or even Barron again. Cortez and Danilo should have been starting. They should have certainly been getting on the pitch long before Tom Lawrence.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't get it. I didn't get it, but he's the gaffer. He's going to pick what he wants, and he's going to pick his strongest team. So that's what he went with, because that's the guys that did the business against Aberdeen. So,
well, Moscow Mule's not happy. He's saying, for God's sake, guys, that was a fine performance. Cheer the feck up. Does he have a point? I mean, was it a good performance? I mean, we controlled the majority of the game. Yes, we conceded the first goal, and we will come on to that in a wee second. But we were in relative control, scored a couple of really good goals. Do we need to cheer up a bit?
Well, we probably do, but it's indicative of our entire season. I think we're just done now, and the weekend can't come quick enough to get the season done. We can put this one into the big filing cabinet that is Rangers seasons, and look for the more exciting stuff that's coming through our summer. I mean, I'll probably look back, rewatch this game at some point and go, actually, we were pretty good that game, and we did quite well. There were some good bits of play, and some players gave everything. Dessers again gave everything. Raskin gave everything. Balogun was brilliant. But I think the mood is just indicative of a season which at the start of it was promising so much and delivered so little.
Well, from Moscow Mule's comment to CGM's, at times I thought about gouging my eyes out with a shoe watching that. Tedious in the extreme. I mean, yeah, look, a lot's got to change over the summer. A lot has to change. And obviously, Mr. Kavanagh was at the game tonight. Big cheesy smile on his face. I mean, yeah, a lot's got to change, mate. And it's good to see the soon-to-be owner of the football club at Ibrox tonight, because he's been there before, but he'll look at that game tonight as well and he'll go, right, we need to get working.
Well, hopefully that's what you're seeing. He's not walking in going, 3-1, that's not so bad, is it? 4-0 at the weekend, 3-1. I think we're all right. We won't need to spend much. We'll just tweak a couple of bits here and there. I'm sure he won't. I'm sure he's seen enough of this season to go, right, we need to do some serious surgery. And it's not just on the playing point of view. We need a management team that can push that. We had a bit of a discussion about that during the watch along as well. I don't think they're under any illusion of what they need to do when they come into this club. I think that it's there for everyone to see. But a win's a win, and I'm glad he actually got to see one because there hasn't been many since February for us to cheer about at Ibrox. So.
No, there really hasn't. There really hasn't. In terms of the opening goal of the night, Ian, I see Tav getting a lot of stick for it.
Do you know what? Sometimes a goal, it doesn't matter what you do, they're going to score. If it's just that, things that make up the goal. The kid leapt well. He got a good connection on it. He out jumps him. It happens. You won't go through a season, no matter who you are, not conceding a goal. I think we are a bit too quick to criticise when we concede goals. It's a decent header. Give the lad some credit. They scored a good goal. He didn't have to do a lot to do it because all the power was in the ball coming to him. So he just had to get on target. Alex jumped straight down. Butland said, "Oh look, Butland's back in and we've conceded again." But sometimes you may not like who it is who's scoring, but sometimes you've just got to credit the goal for being a good goal, and it was a good header.
In terms of Butland, actually, I thought he done okay tonight. I thought he done well. He made a couple of really good saves.
Yeah, the best one of the night was from Dessers.
That's a fair shout. That is a fair shout. It's a strange game tonight, Ian, and it is. I mean, normally when we come on to do these reactions, I've got 3 or 4 incidents in my head that I want to bring up, and then the comments are full of people talking about individual incidents. There was a couple of penalty shouts tonight before we actually got the penalty. But it just, I think you're 100% right, mate. It just feels blah. And do you know what? Because we're about to be taken over by billionaires. We are looking at bringing in a head coach who has worked under one of the greatest managers of all time and is sought after all around Europe. Should we really be sitting here? I know that we've not won anything this season and we just want to get to next. But should there not be that fire in the belly?
There should be, but the season is, I think the season has just dragged us down and down and down. It's given us a couple of little green shoots of recovery, is the phrase they like to say in the early 2000s.
We'll say blue shoots. We'll say blue shoots.
Oh, blue shoots. Okay. It promised, like I said, at the start of the season, it promised a lot. And we were kind of excited about the start of the season. And as the season went on, it just got worse and worse and worse. We had a couple of little good bits and then we back down again. I just think the season has destroyed us all this season. So we are looking forward to next season already. We just want to get the shackles of this one off, which will happen at the weekend. And I think you'll see the upturn. The excitement will start to build. People will get a little bit more into it again, because there's no surprise that people we've got to watch these games. We've got to do watch-alongs. We've got to do reactions. But how many of us at the time have said, I could have done so much more than watch that today? And that's the way the season's been. And that's why we are like we are. When things get improved.
Well, are we all like that, right? Because we're about to bring somebody onto the podcast who I think is going to come on and be Mr. Happy, Mr. Full of Life. He's in a foreign country. He didn't need a VPN tonight. He's just shown me right. He's not happy with that. But Trev, how you doing, mate?
Right under the bus. Hey, I paid for Rangers Unlimited for £400, whatever it is, to watch that. I'm legit above board. I'm all right, lads. All right.
I was saying to Ian just before you came on, mate. We're all a bit fed up and we're all a bit blah. But it's a win at home. Dessers has now got 50 Rangers goals. scores a double tonight. He's now the top goal scorer in Scotland with 1 game to go. We've got a big takeover coming in. We're getting linked with all these managers and coaches. Should we not be a wee bit more upbeat than what we are?
I'm going to be positive. Normally I'd come on and be Mr. Negativity, like, because it's usually what's in front of us. But I'm going to be positive. I don't know why. Maybe it's the Danish air. I don't know. But for me, I'm happy with that. Not the first half, but later on, second half, I generally was. It was good to actually watch them actually fire in a few goals and just get better and better. I mean, It was too little, too late in terms of the game of the season, but it was just nice to see. And then other players get on and get a chance. Some good shots on target. I was just, you've got to be positive. I'm sorry, it's the last home game. I would have been there if I could have, but that's shocking. Singing the Blues. That's why I read these comments. Don't bring that up, man. That's shocking. But anyway, Mr. Positivity. I enjoyed that. It was good. I just hope the last game of the weekend they can build on that. Otherwise, what was the point of tonight?
Yeah. And Trev, we've already discussed the first goal for United, and I don't want to bring that back up because I've got a funny feeling you'll just blame Tav. But the equaliser, Trev, the equaliser. I've got to say, that's what I'm seeing in the future for Jeffrey, a cross like that.
Yeah.
And what a header, by the way.
Yeah, brilliant. There's no doubt Jeffrey is a good player. He is a good player. I just want him to work on the defensive side more. A bit like Tav when he was attacking, bombing down the wings, to be honest here. I have no problems with Jeffrey's attacking powers and going down the wing. It was a peach, actually. It was Barisic-esque almost, actually, at the peak of his powers. He literally, it was like GPS, man. He literally knew where his fit was and went bomb. And then where his fit was, his head was. And then that was easy for him to fluff that normally, Dessers. But I think if he doesn't have too much time to think about it, he does all right, actually, with that. And I'm chuffed for the big man. I'm not his biggest fan in the best of days, as you know, Martin. I usually say not for me, but credit's due. You can't argue with the figures, and I'm just cheesing for the big man, and also get some of them later on as well. So,
yeah, I mean, like I say, he was on before the night started. He was on 15 goals. Now he's on 17 goals. Ian, so that does put him as so far the top goal scorer in Scotland, because apparently Celtic put out their 8th choice team tonight against Aberdeen. Still managed to win 4-1. Shock horror. We're all surprised. But yeah, top goal scorer in Scotland. That first goal is an absolute peachy header. And fair play. Can we say fair play to Tav for giving him the penalty?
Wow. We can say fair play to Tav for giving him the penalty. What I will say about his header, by the way, is the cross from yesterday was decent, but the amount of the work that Dessers has to do with that, because he has to generate the power, unlike the Dundee United one where he just has to connect with it. Dessers has to generate the power to get it moving, so he's had to use his neck muscles. So well done to him for that. I think Dessers just picked that ball up at the penalty, and there was no way Tav was getting it off him. But Dessers just went, if you want this ball, you got to tackle me. And Tav went, well, I don't do that, and walked away. So that is, quite frankly, the biggest bottle of water I've ever seen in my life. He did that on purpose. He did. Look at the grin on his face.
It's actually diluting just because I see since Sunday, since I woke up at some point on Sunday, I've still got a heavy drift. So
it's because you can't deal with all-nighters anymore. Stop doing it. That's the end of that.
Nobody
Trev, we can't hear you.
Nobody over 30 can. Nobody over 30 can.
Yellow card.
So yeah, a nice gift from Tav at the end of the season. That he wish he'd done it a little bit further.
Can I just say, somebody's just made a really good comment. I can't even reach it now. Right? This is really good for a podcast, isn't it? Tonight's podcast is brought to you by Scoosh, the new drink supplier of the Rangers rabble. I don't know why I'm putting it back on.
We need a rabble logo on that one. You do the normal, you do the kind of the sippy cup kind of thing, the thermos thing, but you need to do like a big massive one to encourage people to drink. That one there you go, Martin. And I don't have my Moody. I'm sorry, mate. I can't fit that in the suitcase. But you need the big one as well with the rabble logo on it, Martin.
I can't believe you didn't take the rabble Moody to Denmark.
I know, it's disgusting, man. And it was carry-on luggage as well, so it's even more difficult, but I still should have done it. Just wore nothing else into work, just the hoodie.
We will
That
be
was gonna
back in 12 seconds after a word from our sponsors.
This Rabble Network production was brought to you by Skush, Journey's fave. Need to give someone a wash? And remember, run that line and Skush. It's Journey's fave.
There you go. It's Cherny's fave.
So bad, it's good.
It's so bad. It's good, isn't it? I mean, if we can't have a laugh on the reaction, I really don't know when we can.
I put lots and lots of effort into that. It took me all of 30 seconds to make that. I'm telling you.
You know who loved it? Stuart Hay loved it. Ian, he said you should be a writer.
He needs to rewatch it and reconsider his life choices.
Probably. Absolutely, probably. Do you know, Trev, were you surprised there was no subs at halftime?
No. I think Barry's got some kind of formation in the players he likes and he dislikes, and he's been sticking to it in recent games for the most part. So I wasn't really surprised. I think he was hoping for the old rocket up the backside. Loves a wee scoosh. And I think the rocket up the backside was kind of working. So I think it paid off for him, sticking to his gut and trying to get more out of the current players in the first half before changing it later on. And I'm glad he did, because it worked out, kind of.
Kinda, yeah, I suppose. Kinda. Smudge is saying, Ian, channel member, by the way, and a great supporter of the Rabble, and the reason that we now have a flag as well. Which, by the way, I have made have a profile picture on TikTok. So if you follow us on TikTok, you will see the Rabble flag. But Ian Smudge is saying, for me, Barry has played mostly the same team as Clermont. Just shouted at them more in a few games.
That's pretty much a fair assessment, I'd say. Barry came in talking about this. I know what I need to do. The players need to show me that they're committed to play this game. I've looked them in the eye. We've heard that before as well. And then went and did exactly the same as what every manager since Gerrard has done, and played the same team, regardless of what's going on. Got a couple of good results. Got Fenerbahce and Celtic at Parkhead. Lived off of that. And I've said it on here. I've said it in the chat. I think Barry's ego has got in the way of him a little bit the last few weeks, and that is why he does not have a snowball's chance, no matter how much money Alan Brown's putting on him at bookies to keep him relevant in the chase of getting the job. And I will always love Barry, because Barry was a hell of a captain, a hell of a player, and did a lot of decent things. But as is short tenure as manager, he's a couple of decent moments, but for the rest of it, no different to the rest.
Well, this for Jimbo, Trev, just to try and play a bit of devil's dick advocate. Ferguson is getting stick for a lot. Does he get credit for Raskin stepping up in recent times? Raskin has kicked on under Ferguson.
Yes.
Has he though, Trev, or had he already started kicking on before Fergie?
No, I think he's improved him that wee bit further, Martin. I do, because the Rangers TV were asking him I don't think it was Rangers TV, it's probably Sky Sports were asking him some comments about Raskin. And to be fair, he has pushed on. He's been having a word with him. They are more similar. They're more of a similar player than you might actually think. And I think he was, before Barry, he was going on a game. He was pretty good. But the one thing he was missing is pushing forward and trying to get on and goal himself and be a wee bit more of a arsehole, for the want of a better word, right? Just start terrorising people a wee bit more. And you can see that the day when he nips through, taking a pass the ball on. I thought he was fantastic today. I think just by default, Nico Raskin just wins the player of the man of the match next game against Hibs, just by default, because he's had it last few games. But I think he's pushed him on that wee bit more, mate. I think that's fair. I don't know what you boys think.
I mean, I'll take that same point to you, but also, if you can, answer the question of Diamandi in there beside him. Are they pushing each other on, by the way?
I'll go backwards. I'll do the DO one first, then go back to Raskin. I think they are. I think the two of them now have built up a partnership that is working. The thing with Clermont is that we had that, and then he would change it for some unknown reason, or he'd move them and keep them there, but change the position of where they're playing. To be fair to Barry, I know I'll just give him a bit of a roasting. He's put them in a position, work together. You do this. If you go, you stay. If you go, you stay. And they seem to be building some sort of partnership between them that looks good. And Barron, on top of that, in the last few games, has just made it even better. But Raskin, I think Raskin's been good all season. There's a lot of people saying he got injured at the start, so it took him a while to get back in it. But once he got back in, slowly but surely he got better and better and better. It's not just since Barry come in, because Barry wasn't there when we played them in January, and he was head and shoulders above everybody on that day as well. Somebody in there did say that when Clement got hold of him and changed his diet and changed the way he was eating and talked him through it, and that's pushed him on as well. Yes, he has played well with Barry as well, because if you can't learn from Barry from about midfield positions, who are you going to learn from in Scotland? There's nobody better. So I think he has improved under Barry as well, but I think he's been improving all season. So I'm not going to give all the credit to Barry.
Well, I mean, Jimbo's saying Raskin scored 3 goals and 5 assists in his last 8 league games. There's no way anyone can say that he hasn't kicked on under Barry. And that's a fair assessment. And also, Trev, he's finished tonight. Very on Raskin, like, what a finish.
Oh, brilliant. I had to double check it was actually him and not someone else, because that is not what we've seen from him at all. I think that's the little bit of difference of him pushing under Ferguson. It's not night and day difference. He was already getting better, but I think Fergie's like, listen, you could get some goals here. You know, you're setting them up. You can actually get in amongst it and actually get a few goals. Because Barry had that season where he was just smashing them in. And I think he's just taking a leaf from his book. It was beautiful, wasn't it? And he deserved it. I want to see him get more goals, man. It just adds more value to him. He's enjoying his football. You can see that. You see his celebration. Was it with Big Dessers, the big kind of jump up and the big belly thing, man? That was good. I like that.
And then you had Kevin Thompson in commentary basically calling him a midget as well. Which was...
That is harsh. Did you not hear him? Did you not see Raskin go up to Dessers and have a word on him? He's probably like, my song's better than your song. Your song's pish. He whispers something when he was clapping the fans with his song, you know?
Well, we're talking about Raskin and Dio, Ian, right? Singing the Blues is saying that Barron's the most improved under Barry for me. And that is a fair point, right? But before the game, I was saying I wanted to see Rice in there. And even when Rice came on, I mean, the quick passing, that's what we need, right? That's what we need in this league, right? And Rice has proved that he's got it. He's not had long enough to show us that he can do it consistently, or he's even going to be good enough for this Rangers team. But I think he showed glimpses that there's definitely a player there. So I think he should have had more time under Barry. And I wanted him to start the night, right? But again, I thought Barron was excellent, Ian. So can he just come on and go, aye, well, useless Barry, no starting Rice. I mean, Barron was good.
Barron was good, but then that's 3 midfield players since Barry come in that have maybe improved a little bit since he's come in. But they're all midfield players. Barry was a midfielder. He knows how to make a midfield player work. He knows the simple things to do. He needs Barron to be that one that the destroyer, if you like, is what Gerrard used to say. Break up the attack, just pass the ball on, let them deal with it. You just break up the play. And that's what he does, and he does it well, and Barry can teach that. Someone else has just put in there saying that Barry hasn't improved in Ciala because Barry's not a defender, so he doesn't know how to do that sort of stuff. I don't think his coaching levels for Nsiala are anywhere near good enough to bring him on. And there's nobody in that backroom team that is defensive minded apart from Shagger, but he's not going to say much. So it's not. I'm not bad mouthing Barry, but he's a midfielder, so he knows how to make midfielders play better, which is great because those 3 together have been superb. And it's no surprise that he can get the best out of them.
And I mean, and we're going off on a wee tangent here, Trev, right? But
is the
midfield that we have now with the likes of Raskin, Dio, Barron, Rice, and you've obviously got Leo Cameron coming into that at the start of next season as well. Is that an area that we need to add to then moving forward, or are we good enough there to go that we can focus on areas like defence, attack, goalkeeper?
I still think we need to add, ultimately, let's sign one good midfielder to add to that, because you don't know if Rice will keep kicking on next season. You generally don't know. Things have improved under Barry, and that was a cracking point about Bannon becoming a better player. He 100% has, and I just slipped my mind for a moment there. They need to keep kicking on, though, mate. They can't go.
Lawrence as well.
Oh no, he's gone into the season, is he not?
Is he going? Right.
I think he has.
Contract's not getting renewed, is it? Let's be honest.
Nah, and I'm kind of glad for that. But no, I'm happy with them, mate. But they can't revert to type. That's my concern. They've always got that in their locker, revert to type. So maybe sign one good midfielder to throw in the challenge, and then we need players everywhere else, don't we? So,
is there anybody in that midfield that of the names that I've just mentioned, minus Tom Lawrence and Jose Cifuentes, right? That for you moving forward aren't good enough?
Dio, Raskin, and Barron, they are good enough because they've proven it in the bigger games as well. Is Bajrami class as a midfielder? Because he's one. He can go.
Technically.
Forgot that.
He doesn't look interested. He came in, did a couple of little tricks, controlled one out of the air once, and we all thought, wow, what a player. And then that was the end of him. So Bajrami's the one out of all of our midfielders that have played recently that you would say, right, he can go. If I can keep all three of those, the main core, I'd keep them. I think we're going to be struggling unless we say to Raskin, sign this deal or sign it another year's extension. We'll give you one more year and then you can go wherever you want. And here's the captain's armband, by the way. Other than that, I think we're going to struggle to keep him. So we might be looking to replace Raskin. I'm not trying to sell our players, but if an offer comes in that is there, we're going to take it, aren't we? So
listen, maybe Rabi Matondo can play a wee bit deeper.
Martin, quick question, right? Just kind of pretend this could happen. Raskin stays a bit longer. He gets a year added onto his contract. We sit down with him. The new gaffer sits down and goes, listen, I see potential in you. We want to extend your contract by a year. We'll see what happens next season, right? We'll increase your salary a wee bit. We'll give you the captain's armband and see if you can kick on. He might be tempted, man. Depending who comes in for him, of course, and he has to go for a lot of money.
Also, depending on who comes in as head coach, and I'm not using manager anymore. I'm using head coach now. I'm using head coach. but listen, fair point for Scott, channel member Scott Carney. How can you say midfield has been superb under Barry? How many games have they won at Ibrox? Oh, 2.
You need more than a midfield, though.
Yeah.
But I do take his point, Ian, that you know, look, we're all annoyed and raging at how the seasons went, and all right, it was gone before Barry came in, but I don't think Barry's done a great job, to be honest, since he's come in. I suppose you can only really work with the tools that you've got, but could another manager have maybe got more out of these players? Possibly, probably. So I take Scott's point.
I take his point. We're not, in the bigger games that we have played. So Fenerbahce away, midfield was brilliant. At Parkhead, Raskin and Dio both scored in a 3-2 win, and they have been the things. And Raskin's had how many man of the matches in a row? Is that 4 or 5 now?
The whole season, I think.
So that we got told off when we started this for being too negative. Now we're being told off for being too positive. I don't know
Did I miss the negativity? Bro,
you
missed at the right time. Yes.
But I mean, the midfield has been decent. You can't get away from that. And since Barry has come in, because Barry is a midfielder by trade, the midfield has got better. So that's all we're saying.
Yeah. Did we read anything into Mr. Kavanagh being there tonight, Trev?
I saw that. Was it? Hiya! How you doing, pal?
Hi, it's me, Gary.
As if I was at the game. How you doing, pal? Yes, we read all the books into that. No, it was good to see him. Did we see anyone else from the 49ers? Was just him? He was the face that stuck out for me. Was there anyone else there? It was Rangers TV, wasn't it? So it was the commentator on, and he was like, "It's a full director's box without saying anything more." You noticed that? That was good. It was good. Hopefully they announce it soon, man. Just get on done me. I'm itching to go, man. After seeing the new home top and that, so itching to go. Let's do it.
Do you know when it gets announced, everybody's just going to go, all right, okay, cool. Right, that's it announced. Because we all know it's not going to be like a breaking news or anything. It's going to be, right, okay, you're in. What are you going to do? right?
We
Maybe
will.
Your
We
Scottish
all be on.
response.
We all be on. Like last time when Clement get his P45, we all be on doing the revolving thing for bloody ages, like we done last time. Because although for me, we know it's probably going to happen. When it actually happens, I still think it'll feel brilliant, and we'll
It'll
want
feel
to come and talk
brilliant.
about it.
It'll feel brilliant. But the response will be right, cool, manager, right, cool, technical
What's your
director or
plan?
whatever, right, cool, players, right, cool, what we doing? When's his first interview coming out? Right, he's been in the door. He's been in the door 45 minutes, and there's no interview. I'm no happy. Get him out. That's that's what the kind of response is going to be.
And I bet we still get told it's a fake over, even though they're there and saying we've done it.
Listen. I think you'll find that the 49ers have got no interest in Rangers whatsoever. They just wanted a few free tickets to some games.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's
exactly what they want.
Yes. Fraser Campbell, Ian, is saying Defo looks like Cherny is away. That's just for Barchukter friends there. Away. Sorry, that's really offensive. You know, my missus, she's from a wee town in Lanarkshire called Cleland, right? And she's got the wee tiniest twang here. And I call her a Chukter all the time. She goes, after nut.
That's harsh. Lanarkshire, did you say?
Yeah. She just walked past the door there when I said that.
Kieran's going to kill you, by the way.
Oh, Kieran is a Chukter butt, man. I mean, even I'm putting the accent on now, eh? He's a
proper Chukter. He owns it, though. He owns it.
He does own it. He loves it. He's part of the Kirkcaldy Massive. But Ian, was Cherny waving goodbye tonight?
That's what it looked like to me. I think we even mentioned it on the watch along when he came off. He said, "That's a goodbye wave. That's not that's my last home game. I'll see you next season." That was right, guys. My bags are packed. I'm off to La Liga next year. See you later. It's been fun, but I'm off to warmer climes. Thank you very much. I think that's it. And to be honest, if the wages are better and the weather's better, you're probably going to pick La Liga over the SPFL, aren't you? So if he goes there, fair play to him. Yeah, and he's been. I'm feared to say this in case Scott shouts at me now, right? But Trev, he's been excellent for us, hasn't he? Even though we've not won anything.
He has. I told you before, Martin. I can't lie with his figures, his performances. They're there for all to see. I'm not too sad that he's leaving because I know it would be 8 million. They're saying 8 million minimum. Wolfsburg wanted from. I'm sorry, he's not worth that. Plus, so we got something out of it.
Would he be worth that in a better team, Trev? Would he be worth that if he was coming into a better team?
I would rather have Seema. Cheaper and probably get more in the tank.
Also, if he was playing for us, we'd be asking for 8 million for a minimum.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Martin, we said the other day, I think that's the normal going rate. That's like couch change, isn't it, for these players these days? No, we both get something out of it. He gets something out. Rangers get something out. Wolfsburg gets something out of it. So we just need to replace them with like for like quality. Otherwise, it was kind of for nothing.
I just think that we forget because we play in this poxy wee Scottish league where if any team outside Rangers or Celtic spends anywhere near $500,000, it's massive news. 7 million for a player is nothing. It is for the levels for where we want to be. Look, we want to be sitting here next season and saying that we competed in the Champions League, right?
Yep.
Now that doesn't mean getting through to the next round or whatever, but it means competing, right? If we are going to cry over a couple of £1 million for a player, and we're talking between 6 and 8 million, and we can't afford that, we can't compete at that level of European football. We just can't. You can maybe, I suppose, now, Ian, looking at it with the way that the Champions League is now, when you get, drawn against the top teams, the middle teams, the lower teams, and it's a bit more of a fair shake, you can maybe aim for the playoffs. But out with that, if we're bumping our gums at between 6 and 8 million, where are we going?
Yeah,
but it's different. I mean, they've not to use that a lot. Of course, the City as a comparison
benchmark.
But I didn't want to say that as well. I went comparison instead. But they've got years and years and years and years of Champions League money behind them, and they've spent £9 million on Ida. They spent £11 million on Engels. hasn't really given them a bigger chance in the Champions League. They beat 3 teams that shouldn't have been there and managed to get through to the playoffs. And well done for doing it, because you've got to beat. You can only beat the teams that are in front of you to get to where you got to go. We're not in that position. We can't spend that money because we're not making that money. So we have got to go a bit lower. We get to the Champions League, have a good crack at it. Try to get into those. Try, and at this point to get into the Champions League, because we've got a long way to go to just get to that point. And then it's not this coming season; it's the following season where you can take that step up in people, because you have got that Champions League money behind you, and therefore you can then it's progress. It's steps bit by bit. You don't. If we run too quick, if we try to run before we can walk with the new owners, we're in with a chance of putting ourselves into bigger mire than we want to be. So it is going to have to be gradual steps. We are going to have to use that P word that none of us like as Rangers fans. We're going to have to be patient. It's not going to be an overnight success story. This is
going to say pish there. Sorry.
This is going to be stepping stones, and it'll be this season. We've got to get better than we were last year, and then the next season improve on that. Season after that, improve on that, and that's how we're going to have to go. So it's just patience. We'll get there. We just have to be patient.
Well, see, I can't really remember what happened in the top leagues where we weren't there, because I'd paid absolutely zero attention to it.
Yeah.
But as CGM actually says, they didn't get that many years of Champions League money. They never qualified half the time. It wasn't until we built up the coefficient, I suppose.
True.
And look, if you're saying Kent, Kearney, right? You had the option. Trev, who are you picking?
Kent every day. Not with
You're
the last
picking
18. Yeah, not with the last 18 months. The last 18 months he's down tools, but Kent at his peak is better than Cherney. 100% for me, mate.
Kent
It
at
was
his
the
peak.
season.
Wait a minute. Kent at his peak. What was the most in a season? Kent at his peak that he got goals and assists.
Oh, I'm crap at stats, man. Someone else need to answer that for me.
I honestly don't know. I genuinely
Someone Google
don't
it
know.
for us, would you?
Right, but if somebody in the comments, right, can tell me how many goals and assists Cherney got this season, and what was the highest that Kent got in his time at Rangers in a season, let me
I
know.
would like a comparison. I would like if someone could dig out those stats from chat and tell us, because I would be curious.
Ian Thompson will be in there somewhere. He'll be doing that right now.
Oh, Dennis Law, number cruncher, what a guy. I just
Cherney for the numbers. Cherney solely for the numbers. But Ryan Kent, the 55 season, that Europa League run, Ryan Kent was unstoppable, unplayable.
That's what I mean. It's not all about stats. Well, it probably is actually, but yeah.
Oh yeah. One season, that's it. Oh.
It's what I see in front of me as well. Half the time, Martin, like with my eyes, I maybe Kent's a sexier footballer in terms of what he can do. Maybe that's the thing, right? Because with Cherney, you just know he's going to cut it 9 times out of 10. It's a bit predictable. But maybe Kent was a sexier footballer. Maybe I backtrack a little bit and say that. Possibly.
Right. Well, I don't think Kent ever got 18 goals and 8 assists in a single season.
No, he didn't.
Oh, not 18 goals. Certainly, no, certainly not.
No. See the way you said that there, Trev, that was almost like, oh no, what have I done?
No, but I haven't got the figures for Kent yet. No one's put the figures in for him.
That's because multiple man's not here.
Or handyman.
Or handyman.
Come on, comments. What's going on, man? 10 goals, 9 assists. Right, okay, AJ, cheers, if that's true. Is that it in one season?
There's the most you got for Ryan Kent. £47 million. That's the only reason I brought him up. Because he plays, albeit on the other side, same position, ish, and the same amount of money. So
but Steven Gerrard wanted Ryan Kent at the club.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
He might want Cherney as well. Need to find out in the summer.
Ian, do we want Casemiro back at the football club?
Yeah.
I want Casemiro back at the football club. Something else we brought up was that Casemiro has been out with quite a major injury, but as soon as he was fit, he was straight back in the team, whereas Oscar Cortez got 3 minutes and a packet of crisps today because he just felt like he had to put him on. But I think Casa came on for Yefte today and didn't put a foot wrong, looked strong, looked decent. If there's any way we can bring him back, even if it's another loan for another year before, with an option, not an obligation, then I think we should just go ahead, bite the hand off, take it, and get him. I mean, personally, I was one of those who thought Alex was wrong. I thought he'd gone. I thought he was back at his parent club. But yeah, I think we need to get Casa in because I don't think Tav is our starting right back next season if he stays. If he's still here, I don't think you can have Tav as your starting right back. So what better option to have someone like Casa come in and take responsibility and have that role?
I think Trevi's a next level player. I really do. And albeit we've not seen much of him, but just from what I've seen, I think he's a next level player. But RFC 72 does make the point. Wouldn't touch Casa with 3 serious knee injuries he's had and multiple surgeries. Does that put you off?
No, I think we need to just try and get him alone again with the option to buy or no option, one of the two. Let's not do a Cortez again, please. But I would like to see him again to see if he can go the whole of next season without any injury. We're doing both ourselves, and is he from Feyenoord? Is he? And them a favour. So why not? Why not?
Don't ask Trev.
You don't. I'm not going to just say Czerny because everyone's saying Czerny. Not a chance. If I don't think it's Czerny, I'm not going to say Czerny. I'm not a people pleaser.
Do you know what, Trev? That's because you've got principles.
Yeah, that's my opinion. That's what
I'm just being nice to you because you're fixing my computer for free.
That's true. Yeah, that is very true. Yeah, that's in Saturday, is it? Oh dear.
Yes, after the football, by the way, I was talking to Ash earlier and she's like, so you're doing the watch along for Trev's house? And I went, whoa, we talk about it.
Yeah, I said you can. That's set up to do it, man. I can work while you're doing that before and after. So, whatever.
Yeah, actually, maybe that's it. I don't know why we're discussing that on here.
And I've got better equipment than you, mate. And I'm talking about the computer equipment for anyone puts the comment in.
I thought you were talking about a loft. I thought you were talking about a loft.
You haven't been up the loft. That's a good point. Aye, right, free entry Saturday only.
And this was the last time we ever saw Martin. He disappeared into Trev's loft and was never seen again.
If you don't see me after Saturday, folks, you know where I am. But yeah, right. Listen, we'll finish up tonight, and I'll ask this to the both of you, Ian. I'll kind of Jimbo, rest in peace, Martin. Ian, I'll start with you, my friend. Final. That was the last game at Ibrox. We've got one more game to go. It's just been a pretty dire season, mate, hasn't it?
Yeah, like I said at the start, the season's just been meh from the start to finish. We expected a lot going into the season. It didn't deliver. A couple of bright spots, mainly in 2025 more than 2024. But just get this game out of the way and let's get onto the exciting stuff in the summer. That's what I want to do.
Yeah, that's what it's all about now, Trev. And it's like I kind of said earlier on in the show, and he says that with his head in his hands. He's trying to make this an appealing show to everybody watching. But it's about looking forward. It's about looking to the future.
It is. You have to. I'm not going to look back at that pish. So it has to be the future you look forward to. And I really want that is to finish the season with a bang. I want to see what I saw in the second half today in the last game. Come on, send us off with a wee bit of bloody cheer. We can look forward to it, and we don't completely think this team are 110% useless. We've had the rabble to cheer us up, and we needed it. We needed it, Sal. We really did. I'm looking forward to next season. I genuinely am. It can't get much worse than this season. I think that's physically impossible. So bring it on. Yeah.
And finally, CGM, and well, Christchurch saying Hibs game is going to be a belter. I think we've more people up for that than there will be tonight. Can't wait for the season to end, but we'll be bored on a Monday morning with no football to watch. Well, let me tell you right now, I'm doing the whole sassy thing, right? Let me tell you.
Cutting shapes.
Yes, cutting big fish, little fish, cardboard box, right? Let me tell you this. Throughout the full post-season, we will be here. Monday to Friday, afternoon rabble. Monday night, Friday night, we will be live. And then what we might just do is, like, if there's any amateur football on, we'll go and watch it and then just do a reaction to some random amateur game. I don't know. We might do that.
The World Club Championship on this summer. You've got playoffs and European finals to watch. And
friendlies. Pre-season qualifiers for Champions League.
It's only going to be a month. We're going to be back in June because we're going to have to start training then and then get the pre-season fixed.
Well, we need to start training.
Yes.
We do. We need to get into match shape. We need to get into pod match shape for the new season. Yeah.
Oh no!
And don't forget you've got the wrestling to keep you going as well.
Yes, the wrestling never stops for channel members.
And the gaming pod as well.
And the gaming pod never stops. The EPL has stopped the last 2 weeks, but that'll be coming back as well. Don't you worry
for
about
a week,
that.
and then that'll be gone as well for the summer.
And then that'll be gone as well. But listen, folks, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for everything this season. Still got a game to go. But please do like, share, and subscribe. Look, this is my full-time job. We are going nowhere throughout the close season. We will be here. Is the Rabble going to be active during the transfer market? The Rabble's going to be active every day.
Yeah.
TGM.
Yeah.
We are going absolutely nowhere. So all I ask of you, fine, lovely people out there. No, I didn't call you plebs in an earlier show because I am a pleb as well. But all I ask is that you hit the like button, you hit the subscribe button, you help support the show. And if you want to help support the show a little bit more, then for as little as £1.99 a month, you can help support us by becoming a channel member either on YouTube or Patreon, getting access to watch-alongs are finishing up. But the Tuesday night live show, there's exclusive interviews on there as well. There's loads of stuff if you want to help support the show as well. So listen, Ian, Trev, thank you very much. Trev, how's Denmark, by the way?
They bad, man. It's not shite weather, so I'm not going to complain. Is it
expensive?
Oh my god! A bottle of Pepsi Max regular, double the price at least. And I'll give everyone in the Discord a wee present. The picture I sent to the Rabble chat and WhatsApp, I'll put it in the Discord. Clip it up, make stickers, emojis. I don't care. It's a belter, and the boys have seen it, so they know what I'm talking about. The roller coaster.
Well, I will jump onto the Discord after this and have a wee look. Thank you, Ian. Thank you, Trev. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And even though the season's coming to an end, I'm going to say this after every show. We will speak very, very soon.